All right, you degenerate gamblers, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a swing at the chaotic career of Chris Sale, a pitcher who's either throwing heat or throwing tantrums. Buckle up because this guy's life is a goddamn roller coaster.
He's definitely one of the most intriguing figures in baseball, a real enigma.
Enigma my ass.
Yeah.
The dude's a ticking time bomb, but a goddamn talented one. We're talking about a guy who can rack up strikeouts like a bartender on payday, but also lose his shit and attack a uniform with a pair of scissors. Let's cut the crap and dive into this mess, starting with his early days. Florida boy, born and bred, drafted by the Rockies, told him to shove it, went to college instead. Already a sign of things to come, wouldn't you say?
It definitely suggests a strong-willed personality, someone who isn't afraid to go against the grain, and that independent streak definitely manifested itself throughout his career.
Independent or maybe just a pain in the ass. But yeah, College Hill was a beast. Florida Gulf Coast University went 11-0. His senior year led the NCAA in strikeouts. Dude was mowing down hitters like they were standing in line for a free beer.
His college stats are truly remarkable. You could see the potential right from the start. The White Sox obviously saw it too, drafting him 13th overall in 2010.
And they stuck him in the bullpen at first, which seems kind of crazy looking back. Wasting that arm on mop-up duty, what the hell were they thinking?
It's not uncommon for young pitchers with electric arms to start their careers in relief roles. It allows them to adjust to the major league level without the pressure of starting every fifth day. Think of it as a trial by fire.
More like a trial by boredom. But hey, they finally unleashed him as a starter in 2012, and the league shit its pants. 15 strikeouts against the Rays in one game. This guy was throwing absolute filth.
That game was a display of pure dominance. To put it in perspective, only a handful of pitchers have ever recorded 15 or more strikeouts in a 9-inning game. Sale almost broke the White Sox franchise record.
Yeah, he was on a goddamn rampage that season. First All-Star selection, signed a fat contract. The dude was on top of the world. And then, like clockwork, the injuries started piling up. First a flexor strain in 2014, but he still managed to make the All-Star team. The fans loved him, even if his body was betraying him.
It speaks to his popularity and the excitement he brought to the mound. Even when he wasn't fully healthy, he was still a draw.
A draw and a ticking time bomb. More injuries in 2015, but he still led the league in strikeouts, A&D hit batsmen. Starting to see a pattern here. The dude's got a cannon for an arm, but his control can be a bit erratic.
Sale's pitching style is incredibly intense, and that intensity sometimes spills over into other areas. He's a fierce competitor, and sometimes that fire gets the best of him.
Fierce competitor, or just a goddamn hothead. We'll get to his temper tantrums in a minute, but first, let's talk about his near-perfect game in 2013. One hit away from immortality. You gotta wonder what was going through his mind in that ninth inning.
A near-perfect game is such a rare feat. To be that close to perfection and have it slip away, it must be both exhilarating and agonizing.
Yeah, probably enough to make you want to punch a wall. Or attack a throwback jersey with a pair of scissors. Which, speaking of, 2016, the year Sale went full-on psycho. Started the season 9-0, then decided to play Edward Scissorhands with the team's uniforms because he didn't like the way they looked. What a fucking nut job.
That incident was certainly unconventional. It raised questions about his maturity and ability to handle the pressures of playing in a major market.
Pressures? He was making millions of dollars to play a goddamn game. Sounds like a pretty sweet gig to me. But yeah, that scissors incident was the beginning of the end for Sale in Chicago. They traded him to Boston in the offseason, hoping to get a return on their investment before he completely imploded.
The Red Sox were willing to take a gamble on his talent despite the red flags. They believed they could harness his intensity and turn him into a true ace. And for a while, it looked like a genius move. His first season in Boston, the dude was lights out. Tied his own record for consecutive starts with double-digit strikeouts. It was like watching a goddamn cheat code in action.
Yeah, 2017 Sale was something else. Finished second in the Cy Young vote, which is bullshit considering he led the league in strikeouts. But hey, that's baseball for you. Always got to have some controversy.
Even in a season as dominant as that one, there's always someone else vying for the spotlight. But the Red Sox weren't complaining. They had their ace, and he was living up to the hype.
Until his arm decided to turn to mush, as usual.
Yeah.
Back-to-back All-Star selections, led the league in strikeouts, and then bam, another injury-plagued season in 2018. This motherfucker's body is held together with duct tape and prayers at this point.
It's frustrating, to say the least. When he's healthy, Sale is one of the most electrifying pitchers in the game. But those flashes of brilliance have been overshadowed by his inability to stay on the field.
It's like watching a Ferrari with a flat tire. All that power and potential, but it can't go down in the goddamn garage.
Yeah.
But hey, at least he got a World Series ring in 2018. even if he was basically pitching with one arm hanging by a thread.
Winning a World Series is a career-defining moment for any player, even if their individual contributions were limited. It's the ultimate team accomplishment, and Sale was a part of history.
History and a whole lot of drama. Remember that game where he was yelling at his teammates in the dugout? The dude was injured and couldn't even pitch, but he was still losing his shit? What a goddamn maniac.
That incident just highlights Sale's competitive fire. He wants to win even when he's sidelined. You gotta admire that passion, even if it sometimes boils over.
Passion. It looked more like a toddler throwing a tantrum because they dropped their ice cream cone.
Yeah.
But hey, at least he closed out Game 5 to clinch the title. Striking out Manny Machado to win it all. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That final strikeout was a perfect encapsulation of Sale's career. Brilliant, unpredictable, and ultimately triumphant. He may be a pain in the ass at times, but you can't deny his talent.
Talent and a whole lot of baggage. 2019 was another season of flashes of brilliance and frustrating setbacks. Another immaculate inning, the third of his career, which is mind-blowing, but another injury-shortened season. The dude is a walking contradiction.
And yet, amidst all the chaos, he became the fastest pitcher in history to reach 2,000 strikeouts. That's an incredible accomplishment, one that solidifies his place among the game's elite, even if he's a total head case.
Elite, but unreliable. And then came the big one, Tommy John surgery in 2020, the dreaded elbow surgery that can derail a pitcher's career. And of course, Sale had to do it during a goddamn pandemic. Talk about bad timing.
Tommy John surgery is a major hurdle for any pitcher, but it's especially daunting for someone with Sale's injury history. The recovery is long and arduous, and there's no guarantee you'll ever be the same.
Yeah, it's like trying to rebuild a vintage muscle car with spare parts from a junkyard. You might get it running, but it'll never be the same beast it once was. But hey, Sale's a stubborn son of a bitch. He came back in 2021 through another immaculate inning. Seriously, how the hell does he keep doing that? But more injuries followed. It's like he's cursed.
It's almost comical how many freak injuries he sustained. A broken rib from sneeze and a broken finger from shaking hands. The dude needs to live in a padded room.
A padded room with a pitching mound, maybe?
Gay.
But yeah, 2022 was a complete wash. Rib fracture, finger fracture, and then a broken wrist from falling off a goddamn bicycle.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up.
It's like his body is made of glass. The slightest bump and he shatters.
2023 wasn't much better.
Arr.
Decent numbers when he could stay on the mound, but the Red Sox finally threw in the towel and shipped him off to Atlanta for the 2024 season. New team, fresh start maybe. A chance for this fragile motherfucker to finally put it all together.
It was a gamble for both sides. The Braves were taking on a pitcher with a laundry list of injuries and a reputation for being, shall we say, difficult. And Sale was trying to prove he could still be an elite pitcher after years of setbacks.
And holy shit did he ever prove it. 8th All-Star selection. A Cy Young Award, the NL Comeback Player of the Year, a Gold Glove Andy, the goddamn Triple Crown. Talk about a comeback story for the ages. This guy went from broken bones and temper tantrums to pitching dominance in the blink of an eye.
Sale's 2024 season was a masterclass in pitching. He was healthy, he was dominant, and he put up numbers we haven't seen in years. It was a vintage Chris Sale performance, the kind that reminded everyone why he was considered one of the most talented pitchers of his generation.
So the question is, can he keep this shit up? Or is this just another peak before the inevitable fall? Is he going to break his arm scratching his ass in the offseason?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Sale's talent is undeniable, but his injury history is a constant source of anxiety for any team that employs him.
Anxiety? I'd be shitting bricks if I was the Braves general manager. This guy's body is like a ticking time bomb. But hey, maybe they've got some secret weapon down there in Atlanta? A team of voodoo doctors and sports psychologists working around the clock to keep this guy healthy and sane.
I wouldn't be surprised if they've implemented some cutting-edge training and recovery methods. They've invested a lot in Sale, and they're going to do everything they can to protect their investment.
Protect their investment or prepare for the inevitable meltdown? Let's be real, this is Chris Sale we're talking about. The dude once attacked a uniform with a pair of scissors. Who knows what kind of crazy shit he'll pull next?
It's true. Sale has a history of letting his emotions get the better of him.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of what makes him so great. That intensity, that fire, it's what fuels his dominance on the mound.
Or fuels his next trip to the disabled list. It's a gamble, that's for sure. But hey, that's baseball, baby. High risk, high reward. And when Chris Sale is on, there's no one more electrifying to watch.
He's a true enigma. A walking contradiction. A pitcher capable of throwing both no-hitters and temper tantrums. And that's what makes him so damn compelling.
Well said, my friend Chris Sale. A goddamn legend. A ticking time bomb and one hell of a story. We'll be watching to see what crazy shit he pulls next. And that's it for this deep dive, you degenerate gamblers. Tune in next time for another wild ride through the world of sports where we'll dissect, analyze, and completely bullshit our way through another fascinating subject. Peace out.